And another twist in the Hillary Clinton email inquiry. Fox News has obtained emails that show her close aide, Huma Abedin, was commingling the Clinton Foundation, her work at Teneo, and other government business during a 2012 trip to Ireland. At that time, Abedin held a job at all three organizations, which she was allowed to do. With more here is former Deputy Assistant Attorney General Thomas Dupree, Jr. Good morning. Welcome.
Good morning, Sandra.
So what do you make of these latest revelations about Hillary Clinton's aide in these emails?
Well, it's disappointing, but I can't say it's that surprising. Honestly, the world of the Clintons is a tangled web, and these latest revelations, I think, are straight out of the Clinton playbook, in that they, at least arguably, raise the concern of using official positions for private gain. It's people wearing multiple hats at the same time. It's the blending of the personal and the official, and it just raises all sorts of red flags about government transparency and honesty.
All right, so David Webb's on set with us, and before I get you going here, because I know you're all fired up about this one, the latest poll revealed the single word choices of people when they think of Hillary Clinton. Do we have those for everybody? All right. The top words associated with Hillary when asked in this Quinnipiac national poll: liar, dishonest, and untrustworthy.
Yeah, and after that comes experience. This is the thing. People look at Hillary Clinton and they see her for what she is. This, since the Watergate hearings, this was someone who was thrown off the Watergate committee. Words used then was that she was dishonest. This is not new. The question with the Clintons and this mixing of money and this mixing of money and power and influence, it goes to donations from other countries to the USAID, managed by the Clinton Foundation. It used to be 10 million from Australia. Suddenly they get 25 million under Julia Gillard. You've got to look at the people and the operational model. She was flying 1 million miles, handed off to Cheryl Mills, Huma Abedin, her right hand. This all goes to what we don't trust about the Clinton machine. And frankly, look at the growth of the Clinton Foundation.
How is she not dropping even more than she is in the polls?
Because there's nobody against her. Look, Bernie Sanders is a farce of a candidate. He really is. Joe Biden's not even in. He's at 18% versus Hillary Clinton. And here's something else. Of the top 700 plus donors, the core of the Democratic donors, only about 55 have given money to Hillary Clinton. They're holding their money. And I have it on pretty good authority that there are those in that 55 that if Biden jumps in the race, they move. And in politics, you follow the money.
And there is a level of loyalty that I think some on the Republican side don't understand in terms of loyalty to Hillary. They see her as the chosen one, the anointed one. People who back her will back her through almost anything, right, except maybe an indictment. And I'm not saying that one will happen.
Thomas Dupree, I want to ask you a little bit about process at this point. This issue is going to stay with Hillary Clinton through the campaign and into the election. Am I right about that? As the government sets into its investigation of this now, there is just a organizational process that's going to keep the issue alive and in the public setting for the next 18 months.
That's exactly right. Look, government investigations move slowly. They want to make sure they get it right. They want to make sure they uncover all of the relevant evidence, and then that they make a considered decision as to what to do as far as next steps go. So I think the one thing all of us can be sure about is this is not going anywhere anytime soon. There's obviously a direct correlation between the rise of Joe Biden and the troubles that Hillary Clinton is experiencing now. The problem, I think, from the Clintons' perspective is the same one it always has been, that they think that the rule of law simply doesn't apply to them. It applies to the lesser people, but not to the Clintons.
Speaking of which, the latest controversy, in addition to the revelation in the emails about Hillary Clinton's aide, Clinton comparing GOP candidates to terrorists over women's health. Your take on that?
I'm offended, frankly, and so should every American. Hillary Clinton is going to compare her opponents, agree or disagree with them, whoever is watching, to people who murder, who commit crucifixions, who do horrible things in the name of radicalism. She's comparing GOP candidates to the same people who booby-trapped a child's playground in a city they just took. This is what ISIS did last week. So this is another reason people don't trust the Clintons. When you look at them, and it really is the Clintons, we can't separate one from the other. They're an operational team, a dysfunctional marriage, but an operational team politically.
She made this is straight to her supporters. It was to liberal women. That was why she said that. That was the comment that she made.
Right.
She's kind of waffling. She's kind of waffling back and forth. Like the statement on the email controversy was really trying to speak to more voters than just the Democratic primary voter. This was the red meat for her audience.
But is the red meat really resonating when you come to other people that are more independent-minded? And to both parties, the electorate has changed. American people have woken up more and more. They're starting to question. This is why her unfavorables are where they are.
John, to me, I mean, opinions aside, it just appeared like a desperate move by Hillary Clinton to make that reference to the GOP.
Well, I mean, the language in this debate so far has been kind of disappointing.
The rhetoric, yeah.
We're not getting into as many issues, and a lot of this is kind of being driven by the populism of the moment. We'll see issues probably discussed, a little bit later on. The notable thing, I think, for the Clinton campaign now is that whereas the Benghazi issue seemed to be receding as something that was going to haunt her candidacy, this one is very much alive, and it stirs up reaction, David, as you've pointed out. And this is not going to go away for Clinton. Yes, she has dropped in the polls. She's still 45%. That's still really substantial. But if Biden were in this race, you would see that number drop.
Both Biden and Clinton beat the leading GOP candidates in a head-to-head matchup, both of them in that Quinnipiac poll.
Very early, but that's a very important point.
But when Biden jumps in, the shift begins, and this is where the Biden effect.
Well,
will have.
That's the big question mark. Thomas, last word to you.
I was going to say this isn't going anywhere soon. I think that this whole scandal is just reminding people of what the problem is with the Clintons. They just don't get it when it comes to the rule of law.
All right. Thomas Dupree, thanks for joining us this morning. Coming up.